Now let's talk about NVIDIA. It is the world's leading chip maker and it's facing a new challenge from China. China is the largest overseas market for NVIDIA. It's the biggest market after the US for them. And it's a market where NVIDIA is losing ground because Chinese big tech is turning away from them. We're talking about two of China's biggest companies, Alibaba and Baidu. They have started using their own chips. For years, they relied on NVIDIA, but now they're weeding off. The Chinese are building their own chips. Alibaba has been using its homegrown chips for months now. And same with Baidu. They have created something called the Kunlun P800. That's what they're calling their new chip. And both companies are using these chips to train their AI models. They haven't dropped NVIDIA completely though, but this is a significant shift. And it's also a sign of things to come. Chinese players do not want to depend on American chip makers. As of today, NVIDIA has a virtual monopoly on chip supply. And China is challenging it. Alibaba and Baidu are building their own AI hardware. Reports say Alibaba's chip is as good as NVIDIA's H20. The H20 is the only advanced chip that NVIDIA is allowed to sell to China. They created it especially for the Chinese market after Washington barred them from selling high-end chips to China. The H20. Now, Alibaba has created an alternative. Similarly, Baidu is scaling up its Kunlun series. These chips are not the most powerful in the world. They cannot compete with NVIDIA's high-end chips, but they can get a lot done. More importantly, they're improving fast. And they're coming without any strings attached. No export restrictions, no geopolitical headaches. And that is their biggest USP, perhaps. Investors have taken note of this. Chinese technology stocks are surging. This year, the Hang Seng Tech Index rose by 67%. And one company saw its revenue surge by 4,000%. I'm talking about Cambricon. It's a chip company based in Beijing. The value of its stock doubled in August. Alibaba too is up by 66%. Tencent, another tech giant, has gained by 48%. The AI wave is driving Chinese tech, but this rally also raises some concerns. Experts say that this could be a case of overheating, that prices may be outpacing the fundamentals of some of these companies. And if the investments in AI do not pay off, these stocks could correct sharply. They could fall. However, the larger trend is undeniable. NVIDIA is losing ground in China, plus it is facing tough scrutiny. Recently, NVIDIA was summoned by a Chinese regulator. They asked the company to explain backdoor security risks in its chips. NVIDIA denied it. It said there are no backdoors in its chips. But Chinese officials are not convinced. They believe NVIDIA chips could be used for espionage.
Recently, China asked some questions about some security backdoors in our chips. We have made very clear and put to rest that H20 has no security backdoors. There are no such things. There never has.
The irony is hard to miss here. There also appears to be a shadow ban. Chinese authorities are advising Chinese companies, they are being told to avoid NVIDIA chips. There is no official ban, but in practice, NVIDIA is being sidelined. And this could just be the beginning. A top government advisor in Beijing is pushing for stronger action. He says China should, and I'm quoting, China should ditch NVIDIA and develop next-generation AI chips at home. In fact, let me quote further from the statement. Continuing to emulate the US could be lethal. So dropping NVIDIA, one way or the other, seems to be part of government policy now. Let's zoom out. Let's look at some of the recent events. Soon after Donald Trump returned to the White House, he imposed a ban on NVIDIA. He blocked the company from selling the H20 chip to China. Like I said, this chip was specifically created for the Chinese market. It is less capable than NVIDIA's best chips. Despite that, Washington banned its sale. NVIDIA lobbied hard. They did not want to lose the Chinese market. And last month, they struck a deal with the Trump administration. The ban on chip sales was lifted. In return, NVIDIA was to give 15% of its China revenue to the US government.
I am very grateful that the Trump administration has approved licenses for our Chinese customers. The Chinese customers are also expanding their AI services. And so the demand, I believe, is quite great. And so the ability to ship products to H20s to China is very much appreciated. So I'm grateful that the licenses are approved. Shipping H20s to China is not a national security concern. It's great for America and it's great for the Chinese market.
So the Trump administration wanted to cash in on NVIDIA's business in China. But now that same market seems to be closing up. China wants self-reliance in chips. It's not there yet, but it has laid the groundwork.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakaijmo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.